Have you ever dated a man who seemed perfect at first, but then suddenly became distant and unresponsive? If you have, you might have been dealing with an emotionally unavailable man. In this video, you'll discover the shocking truth about emotionally unavailable men, and what you can do if you find yourself involved with one. Recommendation number 1. Understanding the signs of emotional unavailability. Emotional unavailability can be difficult to spot, especially in the early stages of a relationship when everything seems to be going well. But it's important to pay attention to the signs so that you can protect your own emotional well-being. Some common signs of emotional unavailability include a reluctance to talk about feelings or emotions, a tendency to avoid commitment, and a lack of interest in deepening the connection between you. Other signs may include a tendency to keep you at arm's length, a reluctance to engage in physical intimacy, or a pattern of disappearing for days or even weeks at a time without explanation. If you find yourself experiencing any of these signs, it's important to take them seriously and consider whether you might be involved with an emotionally unavailable man. Recommendation number 2. Identifying the root causes of emotional unavailability. Emotional unavailability can be caused by a variety of factors, ranging from past traumas to fear of vulnerability. It's important to try to understand the root causes of emotional unavailability so that you can have a more empathetic and compassionate perspective. By recognizing that emotional unavailability is often a defense mechanism against past pain, you can begin to approach the situation with greater sensitivity and understanding. At the same time, it's important not to take responsibility for someone else's emotional unavailability. It's not your job to fix or change someone, and you shouldn't feel like it's your fault if someone is unable to connect with you emotionally. Instead, focus on building your own emotional intelligence and self-awareness. And be patient and compassionate with yourself and others as you navigate the complexities of emotional intimacy. Recommendation number 3. Avoiding the trap of trying to fix him. It's natural to want to help someone you care about, especially if you sense that they are struggling with emotional intimacy. However, trying to fix an emotionally unavailable man is a trap that can leave you feeling frustrated, resentful, and even more alone than before. It's important to remember that emotional unavailability is not something that can be fixed from the outside. It's up to the person to do their own emotional work and make the decision to be more open and vulnerable. Instead of trying to fix or change someone, focus on taking care of yourself and your own emotional needs. Set healthy boundaries and communicate your needs clearly and assertively. If the person is unwilling or unable to meet your needs, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship and consider whether it's worth continuing. Recommendation number 4. Setting healthy boundaries and communicating your needs. When dealing with an emotionally unavailable man, it's essential to set clear boundaries and communicate your needs in a direct and assertive manner. This can be challenging, especially if you tend to prioritize other people's needs over your own. But remember, setting healthy boundaries is not selfish or demanding. It's an essential part of taking care of yourself and your emotional well-being. One way to set boundaries is to be clear about what you need from the relationship and what you're not willing to tolerate. For example, you might decide that you need regular communication and emotional support from your partner, and that you won't tolerate long periods of silence or emotional distance. Or you might decide that you need your partner to be honest and transparent about their feelings and intentions, and that you won't tolerate games or manipulation. Once you've set your boundaries, it's important to communicate them clearly and assertively. Recommendation number 5. Recognizing when it's time to walk away. As difficult as it may be, there may come a time when you need to walk away from an emotionally unavailable man. This can be a painful and challenging decision, especially if you care deeply for the person. However, it's important to remember that your emotional well-being and happiness are just as important as anyone else's, and that you deserve to be with someone who is fully committed and emotionally available. Some signs that it may be time to walk away from an emotionally unavailable man include a pattern of broken promises, a lack of effort or investment in the relationship, and a failure to communicate or engage in meaningful emotional connection. If you find yourself feeling constantly frustrated, unfulfilled, or neglected in the relationship, it may be time to consider ending things and moving on. Remember, walking away is not a sign of failure or weakness, it's a sign of strength and self-respect. Recommendation number 6. Investing in yourself and your own emotional growth. Dealing with an emotionally unavailable man can be emotionally exhausting and draining. It's important to remember that you are not responsible for fixing or changing someone else, and that your own emotional growth and well-being should be a top priority. One of the best ways to do this is to invest in yourself and your own personal development. Investing in yourself can take many forms, from therapy and counseling to self-help books and workshops. It might mean taking up a new hobby or pursuing a passion that you've been putting off. It could also mean spending time with supportive friends and family members who can offer you encouragement and validation. Recommendation number 7. Staying open and hopeful. Dealing with an emotionally unavailable man can be a frustrating and discouraging experience. It's easy to become cynical and jaded, convinced that there are no emotionally available men out there. However, it's important to stay open and hopeful, even in the face of disappointment and heartbreak. Remember, there are many emotionally available men out there who are looking for love and connection, just like you. By staying open and hopeful, you increase your chances of attracting a partner who is emotionally available and ready to commit to you fully. One way to stay open and hopeful is to focus on the positive aspects of your life and relationships. Spend time with friends and family members who make you feel loved and supported. Take up new hobbies or activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. And most importantly, believe that you deserve a loving and fulfilling relationship with someone who is emotionally available and committed to you. Recommendation number 8. Building a supportive community. Dealing with the challenges of emotional unavailability can be a lonely and isolating experience. It's important to remember that you don't have to go through it alone. Building a supportive community of friends, family members, or even online support groups can provide you with the validation, encouragement, and connection you need to navigate the ups and downs of dating and relationships. One way to build a supportive community is to reach out to friends and family members who you trust and who are willing to listen and offer support. You might also consider joining an online support group or community of people who are going through similar experiences. These groups can provide you with a safe and supportive space to share your thoughts and feelings, and receive validation and support from others who understand what you're going through. Recommendation number 9. Practicing self-compassion. Dealing with emotional unavailability can be an emotional roller coaster, filled with disappointment, frustration, and self-doubt. It's important to practice self-compassion and kindness towards yourself during these difficult times. This means treating yourself with the same empathy, care, and understanding that you would offer to a close friend or loved one. One way to practice self-compassion is to be kind and gentle with yourself, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed or discouraged. Instead of criticizing yourself or beating yourself up for mistakes or setbacks, try to offer yourself words of encouragement and validation. Remind yourself that you're doing the best you can, and that you deserve love and respect, no matter what. Another way to practice self-compassion is to take care of your physical and emotional needs. This might mean taking a bubble bath, going for a walk in nature, or spending time with a supportive friend. It might also mean seeking out professional help or support, such as therapy or counseling, to help you navigate the ups and downs of emotional unavailability. By treating yourself with kindness, empathy, and understanding, you increase your resilience and capacity for love and connection. Recommendation number 10. Trusting your instincts. Dealing with an emotionally unavailable man can be confusing and disorienting, leaving you feeling unsure of yourself and your own instincts. However, it's important to trust your own intuition and gut feelings, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. One way to trust your instincts is to pay attention to your own feelings and reactions, especially when you're interacting with an emotionally unavailable man. If something feels off or doesn't sit right with you, it's important to honor those feelings and take them seriously. Another way to trust your instincts is to listen to the advice and opinions of trusted friends and family members who know you well and have your best interests at heart. Sometimes, it can be hard to see things clearly when you're in the midst of a challenging situation, and an outside perspective can be invaluable in helping you make sense of your own feelings and reactions. By trusting your own intuition and gut feelings, you increase your capacity for love and connection with emotionally available partners who respect and value you. Be sure to check out the description below for more tips on love and relationships. Check out this playlist of the top 10 videos on relationship advice for women. And we'll see you in the next video. With love.